everyone, we're here with Stand-Up Reviews, Stand-Up Analysis. I'm here with Patricia, and we're going over a set that she did on the last Laughter Party. We're going to go over what worked really well, what maybe didn't work so well, what our thought processes were as we made decisions during the show, and just overall talk about it. Patricia, say hello. How are you?
Hi, everyone. I'm a little nervous to go over my set, but that's part of the learning process. Yay.
Great. Any context you want to give everyone about this set or that night before we jump into the video?
Well, this was my first stand-up at Laughter Party.
Yeah, but not her first. It's not her first stand-up. Just at on our show. Oh no, we got past Ryan. Fucking.
Hey everybody. So, has anyone ever been?
Okay, so one thing I like to do with all of these is talk about like the intro avatar, like how we walk in, what our first impression is from the audience. We walk in, we're smiling. We sort of lose a minute because we're doing technical business with the mic a little bit before we connect with the audience. But as soon as we make that connection,
Hey everybody.
yeah, we match their energy. We reward them for saying woo. So once we have the mic in hand, I love this moment. I just wish that we had started that connection even when we went to the mic. So it's not like, so for example, if I was introduced to this person at the party, it would be like I was introduced to this person. Hey, everyone, this is my friend Patricia. One second. Oh, hey, how you doing? It's great to meet you. So as soon as I got done with my business, but there is a little bit about like, why are they doing business instead of saying hey to me first?
I think I was like, don't do something dumb and drop the mic.
Okay, sure. Yeah. That's another thing we always talk about this. It's like, we're always like, you shit on this, we shit on that. In the perfect idealized stand-up, there's this. But like, we all are human, and human things are happening on stage. And it is important to point this out.
But you are correct. That would not have been.
But then also, you are correct in that you did not drop the mic. So, goal accomplished.
So, has anyone ever been told that they look like a celebrity? Yes. Who?
The girl from Handmaid's Tale. I can't remember her name.
The girl from Handmaid's Tale, the lead?
Yeah, the lead.
Elizabeth Moss?
Yes.
Thank you. That's Moss.
Okay. I can see it. Yeah, I get Anna.
Okay, Miles, what are your thoughts to this first, that we're introducing this bit, we're doing a little bit of crowd work. Your thoughts on that interaction?
I wish I had made a joke about her looking like Elizabeth Moss.
Oh, sure. Yeah. Easy to do in the comfort of our chairs now, but you could have had any celebrity thrown at you, so hard to pre-plan. But yeah, I agree with that instinct that to like, oh, Elizabeth Moss, put on this bonnet and make me a baby or whatever. If we're gonna do a Handmaid's Tale joke, I like it. We are literally talking to the audience, so we're setting up the fact that this is a dialogue. We've already been like, woo, hey, yeah, thank you for cheering me. We're being super relaxed, considering how it is very scary to open it up to the audience, because like, gotta be funny, gotta be funny. Okay, but you're doing a great job of being like, what is that? Oh, let me clarify. You even do this like subtle good thing about, she says, the girl from Handmaid's Tale, and you restate it into the mic so that people who might have been in the back of the audience get to hear, so they're not lost in that moment. Like I don't know if we did that intentionally, but it's very good that it was done.
I have to do that at my sexual consent job.
Oh, I mean, honestly, it's good. It's good training. Like it shows off. Like that is a good thing to do. And then we're in the moment enough. We're like, I don't know who that is. Oh, someone's like Elizabeth Moss. We're like, oh, Elizabeth Moss. So we're talking to multiple points in the audience. We're not on the train tracks. I like it. Could we have made a joke and been like, look how clever I am? Sure, but I still think that we are establishing the things we need to establish up top, which is when audience gives input, they are rewarded for it, and I am a real person talking to you. It doesn't matter that we don't have the best laugh yet. I think we're building rapport in a great way, and it goes great into our, it sort of like goes into our first joke.
Kendrick? Yeah?
Yeah, look, they're with Anna Kendrick, and they're like, oh yeah, we're part of this conversation with you. Yeah, they're with you. They're with you from that that we see.
Pitch perfect, because I'm perfect. But here's the thing, when people tell you that you look like a celebrity, they don't actually mean that. They mean you look like their ugly cousin. Yeah. You're the grade C beef, the Walmart version, the Canal Street knockoff. I think I see a lot of Canal Street knockoffs here, actually.
Okay, your thoughts on the actual, full joke of that?
I kind of wish I had said, yeah, you're the ugly Elizabeth Moss,
Oh,
but I didn't know that'd be too mean.
yeah, it would verge on me. On Laughter Party, I'd be like, I'd be in the background like,
You know, when
don't
she
you
escapes in the woods and gives birth.
Yeah, you could have been like, oh, instead of Elizabeth Moss, you're like Felizabeth Bross. Like you could just make it like a bastardization of the name joke. Any other thoughts on this run of this joke?
I think it landed pretty well. Like, I tried to, because you had told me that I needed to include the audience more with, I see a lot of Canal Street knockoffs, and it worked.
Yeah. So the one thing, my one nitpick of this joke is we get a slight unnatural cadence when we go from you look like the ugly version, the Wall Street version, the Canal Street knockoff, the grade C beef. I don't know why, but the way we said those three things, like the musicality of it lands weird. So like we can spin things in a million different ways musically, but it doesn't seem like you're real and talking to us. It seems like it's performed and scripted, which is why I think those three rungs don't land as hard as the line right before it and the follow through with "I see a lot of Canal Street knockoffs in the room," because those feel like we're real in the moment, and that feel like here. We'll watch it back.
When people tell you that you look like a celebrity.
Oh, we could have pointed
don't
at the
actually-
girl. Yeah, here's the thing. Person that audience member I played with, when they tell you look like a celebrity, they don't mean it, and then it might have landed harder because the audience is seeing us doing it in the dynamic.
They mean that. They mean you look like their ugly cousin.
Great, perfect, natural, big laugh response.
Yeah. You're the grade C beef.
The grade C beef. I'm like, okay, oh, okay. It's like you're the grade C beef. Like maybe if it needed to land, like fully feel like end of statement here, but the way we're saying it almost alludes to like I'm gonna say more. So maybe the audience is like, oh, okay, I'm gonna wait for her to finish that. Yeah.
I think it's an acting note because I need to make the three things sound different and
sure.
almost like I'm thinking of them on the spot.
I can agree. Yes, I can
and
agree
I
with that.
clearly know what those three things are, and it's leaking into my voice.
Yeah, that's a great diagnosis. I would 100% co-sign that.
The Walmart version.
Yeah, it's like the blah blah blah. I'm finishing off the list. Okay, now I got the final one from the list. That's already yeah.
The Canal Street knockoff. I think I see a lot of Canal Street knockoffs here.
And then one acting note, I wish we had leaned down and looked at the audience before we said I see. We said like, I think I see a lot of Canal Street, and then we started like, if we had ordered it slightly different. But once again, it works either way, so that's just a super like dramaturgical nitpick.
Yeah, that makes a lot more sense.
Sure, yeah. But once again, the audience is on our side, still a great joke. These are just optimizations.
Yeah, my ex told me that when I tell this joke, I should smile because Anna Kendrick looks pleasant.
I like that. We held it. I like the holding that moment in through the laugh. Great, and a nice sort of like button to that joke. Love it.
So I dated
I'm like,
this guy.
don't do it the bitter way.
Oh yeah. I forgot the previous other iterations. But yeah, that's another thing. Like we seem like we're okay. I don't have any worry for you that this is like a of talking about an X moment. Audience loves it. There's no fear for Patricia with how this iteration is.
Guy who was from a big football family, and he was super romantic. Okay, he got me a bouquet of flowers. And I got a text from the florist. I was so excited. I was waiting hours. They finally get here. They're so beautiful. I opened the card, and do you want to know what the card said? Thanks for all the memories. You're one of Florida's best.
I wasn't sure how to acknowledge the audience, so I just tried to give them space.
It's funny you say that because I was actually going to comment that I think you do a great job, especially up top at this joke about like oh, I'm excited to tell you something, and it's you guys that I'm excited like specifically to. So now let me share this. And we also have a really good filled silence like right before I paused it. This silence right here, or this like moment.
You're one of Florida's best.
Silent reaction, audience laughing. We're changing and evolving in the silence, and then he broke it off. We'd already front loaded the emotion, so it seems perfectly natural when we lead into he broke it off. Even though also we're waiting for the laugh, which is like a great way to fill that waiting for the laugh. And then in the beginning of the joke, what I really like is this moment.
All family, and he was super romantic.
And he was super, it really makes you, like, because of that little, like, especially with the hand thing, like, and he is super romantic. I gotta tell you this. This is in this moment that I have the impetus now to tell you about this. This was not pre-planned. Like, I think, at least personally, I feel that. Your thoughts as you're watching it, like.
Well, I'm glad that it went well because I wasn't expecting them to laugh that hard at that. And I'm like, oh, I don't know how to acknowledge them, but I need to do more business so that they have time to laugh.
Sure. Yeah.
Process.
Yeah. I think at least thus far, I can't remember. I don't want to be like the whole set, but like great job of filling silences, giving the audience time, but then also not filling it with like wait for a laugh to end, wait for a laugh to end. Now I'm real person again.
He broke it off.
Yeah, they even like you sort of wanted to start the line, and then they had one last resurgence of laughs, and then you sort of pivoted and then did a nod and then shot into the line. So like I don't 100% know. I don't want to like speak for you, but I think that's what's happening in this moment.
Yeah.
He broke it off.
Which great being in the moment.
He really put the boo in the bouquet. You know what I mean? Yeah, I felt like a Stark at the Red Wedding. Like, it was really bad, and I called him and
I think a little bit we're talking over the laughs in these two moments. I don't hate it. We're super natural, but like this laugh probably could have been bigger if we stopped.
The boo in the bouquet.
Like if we didn't say the
know what I mean? Yeah,
then,
I felt like a Stark at the Red Wedding. Like, it was really bad.
Instead of those two qualifying sentences, he really put the boo in bouquet. Ha ha ha. I felt like a Stark at the red wedding. Ha ha ha. Yeah, it was bad, guys. I think. But once again, audience still loves us. We're still doing great. We're still doing supernatural. I still think we did a great job.
Yeah, I made a couple of cuts in that chunk for time.
Sure.
So I think that's why I added, and then I added qualifiers and probably.
Gotcha. Okay, sure.
I'm like,
Yeah. We gotta save some space. Let's get rid of some lines. This doesn't seem long enough. Let's add in some qualifiers. It's like.
And I called him and I asked him why, and he said, "I thought it would make you feel better." Exactly, better? You know what would make me feel better?
Love that.
What? Any ideas? Hard liquor. Yeah. Yes. Therapy. Yeah. His face on a voodoo doll. I have all three.
I was really surprised that no one said anything, but
Sure.
like watching it back, like I think I might not have given it enough time.
Oh, I thought you handled it really well. I think the audience was being a little bit shy, and it was a little bit more of an open-ended question instead of like a yes/no. It's more of like the, hey, what do you think? Which takes the audience longer to be like, does she mean me to talk? Should I be talk? How do I feel about this? But we dealt with the idea of it, like the audience is one beast that we're talking to. We dealt with it really well because we're like, oh, then I'll answer for you. But we gave the space so it feels like a conversation instead of being like, what's the thing? And now I'm just gonna answer without giving you a shot. So I love that. Here, let's go back to the beginning of this joke and play by play it.
And I called him and I asked him why, and he said, "I thought it would make you feel better." Exactly, better?
I love that as an added nonverbal pun. Love it. I think we could do more stuff like that. If we do that at one part of it, then we could be like, boom. Then later we could be like, boom. And then by the end, we're like, like we can heighten that game. It's a really great move, I think.
That's funny because I was thinking, oh, they didn't laugh when I did that. I should never do it again. And you're like, no, do it more.
Oh yeah, they just it's just a more complex game, and they need to sort of be like habituated to it, I think, to really get it and enjoy it with you.
You know what would make me feel better? What? Any ideas? Hard liquor. Yeah. Yes. Yes.
I love that we had other things to say. We're like, oh, the audience really responded to this. Okay, yes, you can applaud. Yes, applause more. Let's activate that. Love that instinct, and we get the response for it. If we wanted to, we could be like, oh, I see some other people went through some bouquet breakups from their big response to the liquor. Because it got such a more response than everything else, it might be worth commenting on.
Therapy. Yeah.
Oh, I guess you guys prefer the liquor. Oh, like there's also when you're comparing lists, like comparing those relative laughs. But they also had a big response to the therapy. So you'd be like, okay, I guess left side of the room's therapy, right side liquor, to each their own. We could have commented on that if we wanted to. But once again, it's still great, and the audience is having a blast. So these are just options, but I don't necessarily know that they would make it better, or they might have actually taken us away from the good logical string that we're going forward with.
His face on a voodoo doll. I have all three. So I asked him why, and you want to know what he said? Yes.
What's funny is because the other time, I guess the audience felt like they left you in the lurch. This time, the audience, when you're like, do you know what he said? The audience is like, yes, okay, we don't want to fail her again. But it's good. We're training the audience to literally talk. So, it's exactly where we need to be. And I like that every time we do the boyfriend, we take a very similar physicality. So the audience is like, oh, she is in ex-boyfriend mode. I know exactly what she's doing, so I'm not confused when the switches happen.
I kind of wish I could do something more funny with him physically.
Sure.
Like I like that there's a transition.
Yeah, you'd be like, oh, like grab it, and that'd be like, listen.
Yeah. Like really milk it.
Sure. Yeah, 100%. But we can add that in later. But yeah, I do agree that we could definitely do something with the physicality. Like, listen, babe, I just don't think blah 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 blah. Patricia, like we could find things that he does that could be real fun.
You don't like how much I work and how religious my family is, and what ties it all together is football, and you don't even like football. So I say to him, I feel like you've really fumbled this breakup. There's more. I was feeling a touch down on myself. As our relationship appeared to be headed towards the end zone. He says, that doesn't even make sense. The last two are good things. You really don't know anything about football. That's the end of my puns.
I like that's the end of my punts because I felt like it made it clear now we're going to transition into something else.
Sure, I agree with that too. I like that the audience is not gonna be like, oh, more pun. Oh, okay, no, great, and it gives them a chance to give out their energy for what their thoughts, like that applause break. You're like, that's the end of my puns. Okay, let me give the reward to that specific thing instead of maybe holding it back because there might be more. I love that. Okay, any other thoughts on the string of the football puns?
I like that I saw the end zone because I felt like it helped with the logic of the joke, but I do feel like the momentum slowed down a little bit.
Oh, interesting. I wasn't seeing it with those eyes, so if we watch it back, I'll try to clock that as well. I'm not saying that that's wrong. I'm saying like, oh, that's something that I didn't even consider. So I will look for that specifically as we watch back. Anything else? Great. Okay, so what I love is there's the very first applause break when we make the very first football pun, and we do a really good job about like nodding, like yes, you can applaud, like okay, yes, keep applauding, and we get that full applause break, and I think we only get it because we give the audience permission to do it, because we maybe could have if we had kept going, we maybe would have cut it off halfway through. So we did really good. And then we get an extra thing about like, okay, but save a little bit. There's more. And then we get a free laugh with like, there's more. Wait. And I do think we sort of like need that because it shows that we're reacting to the audience in the moment instead of just like plowing through with more. So I love that there's more. And then, we were we were going back and forth with this like, how do we like puns? Like we have to really you have to really make sure that the audience knows that puns is a pun. That's the end of my puns. And like how heavy to spin it. And I really think your little like subtle half bow like head gesture, I really think it's a nice way to not like go full William style like puns, but like really Patricia like subtly highlight it, but highlight it in a way that also feels natural to you, doesn't feel fake to the audience. I really like that move as the way to say like, and this is one final one. Absolutely love that. So here.
I feel like you've really fumbled this breakup.
Nod. We're just acknowledging to the applause. And then our applause like, okay, yeah, we keep nodding, which allows it to now continue, I think, longer than it would have gone if we had kept going with the material. If we didn't.
There's more.
Then we're like, okay, don't worry. We're going to tell them what's about to happen. Love it.
I was feeling a touch down on myself. As our relationship appeared to be headed towards the end zone. He said.
Oh, I think what happened with End Zone is, one, I do agree that by seeing the End Zone, we maybe made it a little bit too theatrical and like I'm in another world in another place and not here with you. And also the audience went all, so they started to feel bad with us. So maybe acting it out too much made it feel like, oh, she's in the moment, so we need to have pity for her instead of like, this is comedian me after the moment and I'm fine. Maybe. I could be steered towards other diagnoses for that, but that might have been it. And I do think that it might have been the over theatrical, like seeing the end zone, is the audience is like, is she here with us, or is this a play right now? If I had to say something about like why that might have caused a reaction.
That doesn't even make sense. The last two are good things. You really don't know anything about football. That's the end of my puns.
Great. Yay.
I also had a pandemic breakup. Thank you. This guy died.
Oh, yeah. So I literally said, been there. We acknowledged it was great. If we were really on our toes, we could have like, been there. Yeah, and that there is right here, girl. We all like we could have had some sort of comment. I don't know. Your thoughts on that?
Yeah, I was just thinking I could have, because they reacted really hard to it. I could have been like, I guess I'm not the only one. Like, I could have said something. Like,
yeah, sure. Easy to do now in our chairs after the fact. But good. It's good. Well, once again, this is a great set, and the whole thing was probably going to end up on the Laughter Party YouTube, and I only put the best sets there. So these are all nitpicks and ways to see that, like, and I guess I've never done one of these with you before, so I might as well point out, whenever we do these reviews, I'm always like, or I guess like collectively, because we are, cohorts right now, we're like, oh, we could have done this, we could have done that, we could have done this. No comic has the wherewithal to do, or like some comics do, like the very top. But most comics aren't going to hit all of these moments. There's just too many things going on. But it is important for us to notice that these buttons were there for us to push, so over time we can push more of them. You'll never get 100%. You'll never get 100%. But it is be like, this is something this is one more button that we might have been able to optimize. But I do want to point that out to people watching at home. They're like, yeah, why didn't you do everything? Because also 1,000 other things that we actively are doing well. So like,
Well, also, like, I think this might have been one of the warmest audiences I've ever had.
Sure.
So I was like, I have so much to play with.
Oh, I mean, look.
Opportunity.
Don't even get. Once again, I could talk for hours about the indie stand-up world and how it's toxic and how the higher up you go in the stand-up world, the easier shows get. Because the more the audience pays, the more they have invested interest in the show being good, so they're less likely to be toxic towards it. So in a weird way, the further up you go in the stand-up world, the easier it is to succeed on a certain level. But it's also hard because like you get calibrated in the wrong way from the indie stand-up world, and then you get like real shows, and you're like, oh shit, my all my terrible dark jokes are not landing, and I need to have hackier material, just because people aren't all pessimistic, depressives in this audience, whatever. But I'm glad we could, glad we could do that for you.
Because I think that was part of it, was like, oh, I need to like take advantage of this. Like, there's so much I can do now.
Yeah.
Bumped me, even though I popped a zit on his taint. Twice. If that's not true love, I don't know what is. It was tainted love.
Okay, I have one thought on that joke, but your thoughts on the taint pop joke before I go into it.
I think I stepped on some of the laughs a little bit.
A little bit, and you could have activated an applause break at the end. If you had acknowledged that like 3-4 people started to applause, it would have activated the whole audience to applause. So like in this moment right here.
Twice. If that's not true love, I don't know what is.
Yeah, a little bit the audience is going, oh, and we jump back into if that's not true love. We could have been like, yeah, we could have really leaned into that grossness about like, I've had worse things in my mouth, but not much. Like we could have, if we really wanted to lean into that feeling and make them feel the most of it, yeah, we could have been, we could use the mic and like hit them.
It was tainted love.
I do kind of like it was tainted love. It does seem more natural because we had that almost like catch breath energy to it, even though it was pre-planned. And then here's the applause break that we could have activated. See, there's like 5 different people applauding at different sides, and who's like, oh yeah, thank you, or some sort of similar acknowledgement. The whole audience would have followed suit, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah. But once again, audience is loving us. Big reaction. And we could have gotten an applause break. So great.
So we went to a couples counselor, and she told me that he was a non-verbal communicator. Yeah. So I decided to take a mime class. Let me show you. Ooh, there's no place to sit, but good thing there's a bar. Bartender. Like this.
Sorry, it was right here.
Show. Come on.
So the drink bit, I really screwed up because when I was practicing it, I wasn't holding the mic, and you totally lose it. So I was like, oh no, now I have to get them to laugh. So then I knew I had to keep rope pulling that girl till she got up because I wasn't going to get any laughs unless she stood up.
So what I see and what I think the drink bit failed even more so than like my choreography, and why the rope bit succeeded. The drink bit failed because we're doing an improv scene with a bartender that's not there to the side. That's like, oh, I'm not a real person in this moment. I'm a character. There's a fourth wall between us. Versus rope, we're actively using the audience, and the laugh we get is like, no, sit down! Is like a real moment that we've made with the audience. So I think that is why one succeeded and why the other one failed, intrinsically.
But I am glad that because looking back, it was a really short moment, but when I was up there, it felt like 10 minutes. I'm like, oh no.
If we do the drink bit again, we could also be like, oh, can I get a drink? Or you could be like, drink? No, I just went through a breakup. Big drink. We all know that. We could have called back the fact that we called drinking
that
earlier.
Would be so much better.
Yeah.
So I said to him, this is what you do to my heart. He was speechless. And now you're speechless. Didn't have to go to mime class for that.
Great. You see how the mimicry and then like the commenting on it works better than just like full long mimicry? Because if we do full long mimicry, there's we're sort of putting a fourth wall between us and the audience.
Yeah.
So it's like we can do these very cool mime. And I think there definitely is a bit. You could do a 10-minute set of just you doing mime stuff and like reacting to it. We just have to make sure that the audience knows that, hey, we're a real person and like I'm doing this thing, but I know that I'm doing this thing. You know that I'm doing this thing. So let's just all revel in like the spectacle of me pretending that this is, you know what I'm saying, more than like let's put me in a play and pretend this is real for a second. Sort of.
Yeah,
vibe.
I have to include them.
So I'm from the South, as you know, Florida. And I have to tell you that my mom is half Asian. And this is very important because I was convinced as a child that I wasn't white trash because I wasn't totally white.
I do like the change in delivery. Like you speed up just a tad. And you put more emphasis. I really like the spin of totally white. I love that. Absolutely love that.
Makes sense. Even though I once lived in an RV that we called the car house.
Oh, interesting. The audience really laughed that we separated car house. And I love that we have the physicality to show. I am showing you that this is two things instead of just car house. Interesting. Patricia, do you want to talk about that maybe for a second?
You know, I'm just such a natural.
Sure. Yeah, we can leave it at that. And those who watch the stream, whatever. Okay, great.
Well,
But I love
was
that.
thinking so hard. I'm like, don't screw up car house. That's why I made sure when I was practicing to do the hand motions too, to like force myself to separate it.
Oh, yeah. That's one of those moments that, like, sometimes when I'm watching people whose sets I, like, helped coach or whatever, sometimes, like, I can't watch it. I just have to, like, listen to it and, like, be in the corner. Because when, you know, it's like, moments like that I'm like, I don't know. It hurts my heart. So, like, but I'm like, yeah. And to the other thing, I also get nervous because if you did it the way I said it and the audience didn't respond to it and we didn't have a reason for it, then that looks bad on me. You know what I'm saying? You're like, William, you dumb SOB, you told me it would work, and it didn't. So, like, stakes are high.
You can guess what kind of trash I was. Yeah, I couldn't be white trash. I mean, my parents only had 5 kids. And twice as many washing machines in our front lawn. The holidays are coming up.
Okay, how do you feel about that segue?
I like forgot what I was saying for a moment.
Sure.
And it shows.
Sure. There's something. This wasn't too bad, but one of my pet peeves, especially in a lot of stand-up sets, is people go, anyway, at the end of a bit, and basically what they're doing is like they built up this momentum, they built up this energy, and they're just like, I'm gonna release it for free without any gain for it, and we do that a little bit, and leading into this. Which once again, a human thing is happening. We're like, shit, where am I? The audience maybe responded differently than I thought they would. Bleh, so there's a lot of things happening.
And twice as many washing machines in our front lawn. The holidays are coming up. Yeah.
Yeah. It just seems like and because there's no like, oh, okay, great. Oh, or like, oh, you guys. Okay, some of you guys also had washing machines in your line. Okay, great. So the holidays are coming up. It doesn't. I guess because there's like like the long pause and then the abrupt start, and it was an abrupt change of subject matter. I think that's why this segue is like, oh, that's a segue versus all of our other segues. Like, I honestly haven't noticed a lot of them because they've been really natural.
Well, also, I feel like I'm releasing my energy, and that's lowering the energy of the show.
Sure. Buy that.
Yes. Ooh.
Hey, we're right back. We're already wooing.
Give very personal gifts. Okay. One Christmas, my sister, she's so good. She bought me a menstrual cup. She's such a diva. And
I like that. It's maybe a little schmacky, but I do like that she's so good at adding things. Like I think it's a little schmacky, but you feel like because it also has so much personality, like you get away with it, and like it shows. And it is surprising. Like she's such a diva. Yeah, it's like a sort of hacky pun, but it's not expected. So I do like that moment a lot.
And that was real fun, opening that in front of my 9-year-old grandpa. Yeah. And gentlemen, I gotta tell you, this makes a great gift for the ladies. It lets us know that you care about what's on the inside. Yeah.
Wasn't it? It shows that you care about what's on the inside. Period.
I forgot it.
Sure. No worries. But once again, audience still likes this, and we even had another golden joke in the chamber that we could have even hit it up. Which once again, audience still loves it.
Would have been better because I released a little energy again. So if I had said period, then it would.
Yeah.
Yeah, this section could be tighter with the delivery for sure.
Sure. Tighter around the diva cup. Got it.
Then my grandmother gave me thong panty liners because she wasn't using them anymore.
What I think absolutely like, I think this joke would land even if you performed it like this, but I think what absolutely caused such a big reaction is cause she wasn't like the literal turmoil we can hear, the subtle turmoil we can hear in your voice as you read that line. Like here's the thing.
Yeah, I'm like not as comfortable with this section because it's not as well rehearsed. So I just kind of leaned into how uncomfortable the material was.
Sure.
And I think that's why like I get away with the uhs and the ums more. Because I'm uncomfortable. Like the joke.
Oh, sure. They're like, listen, guys. And so it seems like instead of, it's like, oh, she's doing that because she doesn't want to reveal this information, not she's doing that because she might be going up on lines or whatever.
Thong panty liners. Because she wasn't using them anymore.
She wasn't using them anymore. Love the musicality of that. Great way to fill this huge laugh with active emotion. So you're cued in to shoot the next line out. Great.
Exactly. I don't know why I was chosen. I mean, I have cousins, a mom, a sister. Like, I don't know what's wrong with me.
I can't believe that.
I think why it worked is because it really feels like you're just being honest. Like, I have cousins, I have a mom, I have a sister, and we're like, okay, she's being real. Like, no, psych, it's joke time. I don't know what's wrong with me. Like, I really do think we really lull them into a false sense of security that this is not joke time. This is serious No, haha. Sorry, you about to say something?
But also, I remembered in that moment that I forgot period, and I'm like, I have to give William his thong with me.
You're like, I was not gonna do thong with me, but I didn't do period, so okay. Oh, thank you. Cool.
My grandmother is sexier than I am. She's wearing thongs and I'm wearing granny panties. Actually,
so that was a little too schmacky. We were doing really well with our acting, pushing the bounds of like maybe we're acting a little bit too much, but we're getting away with it. And I think this is the first time we step over the boundary. But once again, great use of acting chops. And it's like we are using acting chops, and like the audience can even see it a little bit, but it's like just on that edge where it's like really like it's like really riding the line of like adding as much energy as possible, but still feeling real until that moment, and then we. Went overboard. I think personally. I don't know. So you have something to say about
that? My dress was starting to bother me, and I'm like.
Oh, so you just like use that as an excuse to like. Also, then honestly, clever move. Then honestly, clever move. If we're because like I didn't suspect that at all. I just thought you were doing a schmacky moment. But if you're literally like to fix it, great. Sorry.
Yeah, but also I'm not gonna wear that again because it kept like riding up in weird ways that I wasn't expecting.
Sure. Unless like we make a bit out of it, or like me and my granny are different sizes. I also have that diva cup. Whatever. We can make a bit out of it, but I'm not gonna force you to do that.
I also have that diva cup. It's just popping out, making my clothes not fit.
Oh Yeah, yeah, maybe.
Talking to male comedians about this.
Excuse me. It would land. I promise you.
Creative with it, like.
Uh, that joke didn't land, but my Diva Cup did on the floor. Sorry, guys. Period.
Wearing Granny's panty liners. It's okay. My brother
I like the okay. It's okay after the awe. I'm like, okay, no. The audience just gave us an awe. Let's make sure everything's cool.
got a receding hairline. My
But
grandfather.
also, they awed on the panty liner.
I think it's because of maybe because of we are the emotional avatar of the audience. We set the energy, and I think it's how we spun those lines. Watch.
And I'm wearing granny panties.
So I'm wearing granny panties. There's a little bit of distress in our voice.
Actually, I'm wearing Granny's panty liners.
There's still distress, and we have a distressful face, so the audience doesn't know whether they can be resolved yet, because we're not resolved with our energy yet.
It's okay. My brother got.
Yeah, and so they're giving us awe because we're telling them to give us awe. We're like, I'm doing this distressful thing, and a secondary line where I'm more distressed. So the audience it's like, this is what she wants, right? She wants us to go, I can see it on her face. And so now we've reestablished, like, no, okay, everything's okay.
Receding hairline.
Now it's no awe, it's laughter.
My grandfather.
Because we could have just easily been like, but my brother got a receding hairline, and they would have been like, oh, like we could have easily turned that small awe into a bigger awe if we had kept that sort of like disturbed face and lean into it.
I just think it's really funny that they awed panty. Like, I understand what you're saying, but the fact that they still did that just.
I mean, honestly, if we knew that was gonna happen, or if we really had our improv brain on lockdown, we could have been like, aw for panty liners. Normally it's ooh but you guys are more like like we could have made a joke out of that in like response to their. If we get that response again, or if we try to push them that direction, so we can do that. But if that tickles you, yeah, that's definitely an easy premise to capitalize on. You're like, no. There's funny about like you guys didn't awe as bad for my breakups. So for you guys, breakups are here and panty liners are like if you have enough of a like in the moment.
I didn't get an awe on living in an RV, but you got panty liners.
Yeah, if once again, it's hard to like notice that while you're doing it, but if you can, absolutely would have killed, because then you're like. Then like your sassy friend that is the audience, you're calling them out in something that's like irrefutable because like you got him, checkmate. It would have absolutely killed. But it is really hard to do because not only do you have to have a piece of yourself watching yourself, you have to have a piece of yourself watching the audience, and a piece of you watching the audience and their overall patterns and how they changed over the set and comparing them. And it's like hard to do that while also spouting all this gibberish that I prepared. But that's why stand-up has such a high skill ceiling as far as like what you can do at the optimal levels of it.
He gave me a sex ed book from the 1950s. Yep. I have to tell you, I did not ask for this. Okay? I work as a sexual consent educator. So he thought that this would be good for my work. And I'd like to share some of this with you. Yeah. Can I? Woo!
I like that moment. We were almost gonna steamroll the audience, but instinct kicked in. We stopped doing the line of the stand-up script, and we activated the woo. I really like that. I think that shows great movement into the new habit instead of the old habit. So just my thoughts.
Yeah, I just don't like what I did next.
What do you do next?
Well, so after they're clearly consensually wanting me to read from the book, I'm like, okay, I need a thumbs up, and then I like killed the moment.
Okay, let's watch.
Yeah. Can I? Woo! Okay. So I need everyone's consent first, though. So give me a thumbs up. Okay. Yay!
Look at that. But you can let me zoom out for the video. But you literally have everyone actually giving your thumb, like actually giving you thumbs right now. Like literally, I see. Let me pull this. I see so many thumbs actually in the audience. So like maybe you feel like you killed the energy, but like you got thumbs. Like what a fun thing! You got the audience with good thumbs.
Okay. All right. If you say
Right?
it works.
Oh, that's so. That's such a fun thing. Oh, you got the audience like, who knows what their thumbs have been? I'm a sexual educator. I know what those thumbs have been. Like, there's so many things we could have done with those.
Well, I did thumbs because they're a comedy audience, but with college kids, when I'm trying to get their attention, I'm like, touch your pinkies together, okay, and then everyone shuts up and they do that.
They worked with college kids.
Well, yeah. Because
Okay, Kylie. Okay, my little college babies. Can we do listening lot? Cute little listening lot. What are you guys majoring in? Astrophysics.
William, you don't understand. Like freshmen, like vaping when I come in.
Yeah,
Okay,
sure.
people do not want to hear what I have to say.
Sure, you do not have their consent to teach them about consent.
No, I'm like, okay, but for some reason with the pinkies, like people have to think about it, so then they like shut up when they're doing it.
Oh, interesting. Interesting.
Hey, great.
I do think, but yeah, look how long that laugh was, and I think part of it is like, okay, great, like this whole like weird response.
Okay, so I need everyone's consent first, though. So give me a thumbs up. Okay, yay, great.
Like that. Yay, great! I think that's why it's such a funny. If we called it out, it would have reignited
Male
that laugh. in a big
sperm
way.
swims faster than female sperm because boys are more athletic. Also, the female sperm is in the kitchen.
Maybe I added part of that. Maybe call out the truth of it, but still great.
Cunnilingus, not cunnilingus, you heard correctly, is defined as perversion. Yes.
I love that you I think that's Justin in the tech booth going, what? And you literally yes, directly responding to you with high energy.
Orgasm is not even listed.
Oh, we could have done more with that. Yes. I guess someone knows. Someone's good at it over here. They know their cunnilingus. We could have commented on that. So I like their response to it.
Orgasm is not even listed. I guess they spoke to my ex.
I wish we'd been with the audience instead of in the book at this moment.
Yeah, I think I missed some opportunities here because I was getting really nervous.
Sure.
I think I was like, wow, this set's going so well. Don't fuck it up now.
Yeah. You're like, I just gotta land this plane. I just got only 1 more mile to the airport. I can understand that. Yeah. But what was it? We're still doing a great job, and I think maybe we could have activated this applause break more.
I guess they spoke to my ex.
Yes, so that was literally 8-9 people clapping, and we're still in the book. If we just been like, oh, you like that one, great, it would have cascaded for the rest of the audience with that applause break.
Wet dreams are defined as pollution. No wonder our grandparents are confused about global warming. My favorite chapter is called Masturbation and its treatment. I don't have a joke for that. I just wanted to share.
I kind of wish I had set up story time a little bit better.
Oh, sure.
Like maybe I could have messed with the mic and then sat down like I was, like a teacher.
Oh yeah, come on, boys and girls. Today we're gonna learn about sex. The thing all of your parents have done. Ew, yeah, but it's true. Oh, okay. So, yeah, and we could play of popping out of that and leaning into it. I like that. I think at this point the audience is slightly getting a little ahead of us in that the bit is just I'm reading out sex thing. Oh, this is crazy feeling. Okay, first one lands really low. I'm reading out sex thing from the ancient book. Oh, isn't that weird? I'm reading a sex thing. Isn't that weird? I think we need to find new, interesting ways to attack that same feeling. Otherwise, it's like, okay, here's chocolate ice cream. Oh, great, I love that. Here's chocolate ice cream. Okay, I still like that. Here's chocolate ice cream. Okay, I'm kind of getting habituated to the taste now. Okay, here's chocolate ice cream. Like, I'll still eat it, but like, maybe like, you know.
Yeah, I think your instincts are correct. I'm just trying to think about like the best way to go
Yeah.
about it. And
There. I mean, no, are you sorry?
I think it'd be interesting if I like, because it's like clearly memorized, but if I like played with trying to find things in the book more, there might be something
Oh,
there.
honestly, there could be a thing about like, oh, sorry, I can't find it in this book. Just like orgasms, not in this book. We could do meta patterns like that, and then we'd surprise the audience because they really wouldn't see the joke coming. Versus like if we're coming, haha. Versus if we're like going into the book, then it's like, and we don't evolve that pattern of I go into the book, I read joke. Because like if there's an improv scene, it'd be like I read in the book, I get a joke. I look through a little bit, I get a joke. I rapidly, like every step of that would be evolving as the joke evolved. And here it's like it's just lateral moves, which is why I think it's happening. It just needs some sort of like you get it. You don't need me to belabor the point.
Apparently, we used to test for pregnancy by inserting a women's urine into a frog. Animal testing really pisses me off. But yes, this chapter was riveting. And last.
Yeah, they started to applause break as we started to talk. You could have activated that applause break. Also, it's one of the only other times that they went a big like, oh, like you guys, you're like, oh, you guys thought the taint pop was worse than that. Like you could, make them feel the other all feeling that they had if we were in our maximum giga brain. But it would be hard to make that connection. But it's there. The opportunity was there.
I have to point out, this is called Modern Woman, written by an ancient man. Thank you, everyone. That's my.
Okay, first of all, I don't think before, we had Modern Women written by a man. I think we added Ancient Man, right?
Mm-hmm.
I like that because it's Modern Woman, so we need adjective man. I like that addition, and I remember hearing it being like, oh, yeah, it made it hit harder. Like, oh, yeah. I don't know, your thoughts?
I think that was a good note, William, because you told me.
That's mine? I didn't think I had a hand in that.
No, I'm pretty sure that was you. Because
I know what I'm doing.
And then you said ancient man, I think. I think that was you.
Oh, okay. Hey, okay. I was trying to give you props, but I just backhandedly gave myself props. I'm like, no wonder I like this. It's my favorite recipe. Just like I make it home. It's like, yeah, because you did make it home. One thing similar to the intro avatar, like how you feel walking on, I like to do the exit avatar. So like, let's just watch who you are as you leave our sort of like this
Modern Woman, written by an ancient man. Thank you, everyone. That's my.
Okay, so I do think similar to our entrance, we're too focused on the. So it's like if I was gonna give the impression of meeting this person at a party, it'd be like, oh, it's been so great talking to you guys all day. Thank you so. It's been so great. I'll send you that text about that thing we talked about. It was so great. I hope to see you again.
Every time you do that, I laugh. No, you're right. I'm just like, oh, it's done. Farewell, yay.
Yeah. Instead of like, hey, oh, thank you guys, thank you, good night, I gotta do this thing, thank you, oh, see you guys soon, bye, and then really connecting with them on the way out to really have that follow through. But that's a nitpick. Once again, we're getting a big applause, so like, meh. We did a great job. So at this point, one thing I like to do at the end of sets is if you're gonna do the set again, or if you're gonna wrap up any big sort of like overarching theme that we've talked about today, et cetera, any words at the end that you want to give, what would those be for this iteration in this set?
Well, I think that the talking to the audience exercises were very tedious in practice, but they worked.
Sure. Do you
Like
want to
it.
explain for the people that aren't like are watching this for the first time what do you mean by that?
So, William had commented on recordings of previous sets that I was not talking to the audience, I was talking at them. So we were doing exercises where I was not allowed to go to the next sentence until the audience had reacted until I had acknowledged them. So over Zoom with William over and over again, I felt really bad. It must have been real boring, but it worked because it was a conversation.
I think we did a really great job of navigating some tough moments. There's some like we need to get you. I think part of it is being calibrated to more indie shows is that we don't yet have the activating the applause break button really sort of like instinctualized. But we got the applause break, so we really did that. Chat says I really liked her energy throughout her performance. Seemed really connected, but I'm biased because I am a fan of her. Thank you, Eric. Yeah, I think one thing that you do really well is you have an acting background and you really because like some comics like I am deadpan comic, I am talking into mic, I am trying to lay on my words and not use my performance at all. I think we really do a good job at surfing that line about I'm going to use as much acting chops as I can while not feeling unnatural. And for the most part, we rid that wave very well. Either there's 1-2 moments when we maybe wiped out on that, but for what is essentially now a 10-minute set, that's 2 moments of maybe pushing the boundaries. I don't care at all. That's really good.
Well, I really took it to heart because you had told me, like, we don't want this to be like Patricia one woman show. Like
Sure.
it's stand up. It needs to be about the relationship. So I tried really hard to make the connection with people.
Yeah, I really do think it shows, especially in those moments when we actually call out and do crowd work. If you were going to do this set again, would there be anything that you would change? I guess I'll ask.
Yes. Uh,
Okay, end of question. No. So just like,
yeah, we talked about the miming stuff. If I wanted to do the drinking, I would definitely take it out to the audience and incorporate the audience.
sure.
Yeah, and then the book section, we talked about that. I would want to make it more story time hour. I would want to play around with the book more and make that a bit more engaging. And then the one segue, I would do that differently for sure.
Uh, uh, uh Great. I love all those things and happy to work on those with you if you so wish.
Oh, I have to tell you, William. So, a girl in the audience came up to me after the show and she said that she attended the oldest women's high school in the United States, and her library had that book, and she stole it because she thought it was interesting.
Oh wow! A crazy connection. Okay, I love that fact. I guess this book was more further influencing than we thought.
I couldn't believe it was still in circulation at that library.
Yeah. Two things. Yeah. Was it still the same edition, or was it like a newer fifth edition of Modern Woman?
No, I think it was the same one, and she said she put it on eBay to see if like any vintage book collector would want it, but nobody did. And I said, "Oh my gosh, that was your eBay," because I Googled the book to try to see if I could find info, and all I saw was just the one random eBay.
This story just goes back and forth. Wow. I was like, it's her eBay, but then your book, and then she sold the book, and then it's like that's literally like the only copy that somehow just like goes throughout time, bouncing back and forth.
Well, there were a couple other interesting things too. So, like, I changed it for the bit, but my other grandmother had given me that book, not my grandfather. But
Sure.
I felt like it would be weird. Like, I had the one grandma giving me panty liners, but
Yeah.
so I changed it. Well, my grandmother had stolen that from her library.
Whoa! That young woman was your grandmother, but a time traveler. That's what it is. Oh my goodness. Well.
Yes, so she also stole it, and she said, "Yeah, so I just need you to become like famous so that this book will be worth something, and then I can actually sell it on eBay."
Oh, sure. Great. Hey, yeah. It'd be weird if like this bit causes a resurgence in this book and the price. Hey, if you've been watching this long, hey, give us a like, give us a comment, subscribe, smash that noti bell for more of this content. All of mine and Patricia's socials will be in the description. We have a lot more sort of episodes of this with all the sort of Laughter Party comics. You can check out this set on the Laughter Party page because it'll probably be up by the time this comes out, and it'll be absolutely amazing. Any other promo plug thing on your side, Patricia?
Follow me on Instagram.
Yeah, follow her on Instagram. Great. And maybe even if you're watching this in the far future, there's other episodes of us reviewing Patricia's amazing footage popping up on screen right now.